Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. It is Friday night and it is time to party. I saw someone said the wife's asleep. Let's go. So it is good to see you guys, and I definitely want to welcome everyone to a live stream. I honestly don't have much of an agenda for tonight. I had a couple of crazy AOKs that actually showed up. So I actually want to spend some time kind of going through and unboxing those things and showing you guys what actually came in. But other than that, we are just going to mix it up. We're going to have a good time and hopefully have a pretty good conversation. So I'm going to say hello to some comic book swojas that have joined me here in the room. I'm having some technical difficulties, so bear with me here as I try to power through. I have to make a couple of adjustments here. Hopefully that improves things. So let me scroll up to the top here and see who's all here. Harvey Abel is in the house. How you doing, Harvey? Thank you for coming in, brother. And we will definitely catch you on the replay. Joa is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Philip is here. He says, love your show. Keep up the great work. Count on it, my man, for sure. Joa is asking if anyone is going to NYCC. So if anyone's going, give Joa a shout out, because my guess is that he is going to be there and he is going to be having a good time. So if you guys can meet up with him, I think that'd be awesome. Rush Diehard is in the house. Rush, how you doing, brother? Get some rest. Catch it on the replay. It'll be up in the early morning. I had to put the kids to bed. I've been traveling for several days, so I had to spend a little bit of extra time with them tonight now that I'm back in town. So scrolling through, Matt is in the house. Matthew, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Sully Two Kings is in the house. Scrolling through the names, seeing who else is in here. Eternal Thunder is here. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. We have another Matthew is in the house. Scrolling down, Connecting Comics is here. Pedro is here. Kyler is in the house. My brother Wayne McDonald from Canada is here. Steve is here. Gabriel is in the house. Randy, how you doing, brother? Check it out. Randy is in the house. It's good to see you, my friend. It's good to see you. Just Do Better is here. It is good to see you, my friend. Azel, how you doing? Tina is in the house. Tina, it is definitely good to see you, my friend. As always, Richard is here. Wilson is here. Yamaha Joe is in the house. It is definitely good to see you guys. I want to thank everyone for spending a little bit of their Friday night with me. Kimball is here, and Florence is also here. Flexer Daz is in the house. Hawaiian Punch in your face. It is definitely good to see all of you guys. And again, thank you all for spending a little bit of your Sunday. I'm sorry, your Sunday, because I'm normally live on Sunday. Your Friday night with me. It's good to see you. Allison Graham is also in the house. Welcome, everyone. So I don't have much of an agenda for tonight. I'm definitely going to be kind of winging this one. So if you guys have some things you want to talk about, definitely throw it out and we can have a conversation about those things. So who is that? It says, Scott says, wow, finally made one live stream. Welcome, my friend. It is good to see you. A couple of people shouting out Randy Resnake up in here for that dope piece that's back there. If you guys haven't seen this piece in today's video, you don't want to miss it. You definitely want to watch this video. Randy hooked it up. This one right here, this painting is from Mr. Comic 89. He hooked this up. This one over here, this drawing is from Randy Resnake. Both of these guys, awesome subscribers to the channel that hooked me up with some nice giveaways. So if you guys get a chance, check those out. All right. So my man John Langford sent me something today. Sent me something from Amazon, and he started making all these jokes earlier this week about what it was that was actually in it. I have no clue what it is. I actually opened up the Amazon box and was presented with this right here. You guys know John. John has actually sent me lots of things. I think I know what it is as I feel it here. John has actually sent me lots of very wonderful AOKs over the last year or so. And this one is one directly from Amazon. So we're going to open this one up and see what it is. Greek Freak, I see your question, brother. We are going to get to that. Let me do this thing real quick, and then we're definitely going to get into that. So let's open this thing up and see what's inside. Who is that? Richard making a couple of comments there. We are going to talk about all of this stuff. So you guys just bear with me, and hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't hear myself very well, but hopefully you guys can hear me okay, because at the end of the day, that's probably what matters more. So let's look inside. So we're going to open this thing up right here. And oh, John. John is a nut. John is a nut. Can you guys see what that is? Can you guys see what that is? Agent Oink Oink. How you doing, brother? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the live stream. So this dude John sent. It's a Gibbon. Sully Two Kings. Thank you, brother. John sent over a pretty awesome Gibbon. He sent over a plush toy. This is awesome. From Wild Republic. It is a Gibbon. If you guys don't know, if you are in this live stream and you don't know about the Gibbon, you definitely want to watch a couple of videos on the channel and learn all about the Gibbon. This thing is so soft. I'm going to have to keep this away from my kids because my kids will tear this thing up. I tell you that right now, they will tear this thing up. So I'm going to have to watch it. This is awesome. John, when you watch this, because I don't think you're here, thank you for the a very wonderful plush Gibbon. They are what, 15 to 20 pounds. They are not a lesser ape. They are just a smaller ape. That's awesome. Oh man, we're going to put him up. We're going to put the Gibbon up in the back somewhere over there. That's awesome. So he sent it in this, he probably paid extra for this Amazon bag right here. My wife's going to probably repurpose this, or someone out there is going to get a gift, an A-OK for me that'll be in this same bag. So somebody will benefit from that. So that was really cool. So that's one A-OK. What does it say? What an awesome Gibbon stuffed toy. First and more to come. I don't need more Gibbons. I don't need more Gibbons. Eddie, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. This dude, Matthew, talking about it's cuddle time. Could you imagine me hugged up with this Gibbon thing? He is cute though. Look at him. Look at his little face. His little face is cute. He's cute. I am not going to hug up with. Well, I may cuddle with it. I don't know. We'll see. Kids destroy everything, says Richard. Yes, they do, brother. My wife and I always say we can't have nice anything, because as soon as your kids come in the room, they just tear it all up. Cosmic Gibbon from the Wild Republic. Love that storyline. I see you, Kyler. So, what is this? Got my phone on. See you on the upload. Good stuff, Harvey. We'll see you later, Harvey, for sure. What does it say? Kids gonna be Gibbons for Halloween. Brother, I don't know what my kids are gonna be. Who knows? How many Gibbon ASM? 2. Comics and Beers is asking the question. I only have 2. I have 2 ASM 110s. One is a 9.0 graded CGC, and the other is a raw. Is raw and is probably a lesser grade. That is basically it. You guys are awesome. So the other thing that I received today, I came home, and I've been traveling for most of this week. So I came home today after arriving from Denver last night and getting up and going to work at 5 a.m. like I normally do. So I came home, and as I approached my comic book room this evening, there were 3 boxes, a package, this box with this Amazon thing from John, and a massive box of something sitting outside of my comic room. And I turned around, and my wife was there, and I'm like, what is this? And she was like, that was all in the mail today. And I'm like, what is this? Because part of it is always this thing of, what did I order, right? What did I order? Versus what has shown up at my house for one reason or another. And as I grabbed the box, my wife said who it was from. And I was like, okay, I know who this person is. This is a fantastic person. But I was like, what in the world did they send me? And so I promptly sent a message over to someone and said, what did you just send me? And the comment was, and I quote, clue, it's not a comic. That was basically the comment that someone gave me, was clue, it is not a comic. I opened the box up, and inside of the box was a wonderful letter that I read that was very touching. And I'm not going to read the letter. The letter was very touching. And I said this, and I will continue to say it, that I have some of the best subscribers out there, hands down. And evidence of it is this wonderful plush Gibbon that I'm going to cuddle with later on tonight. The other part is wonderful letters like this that touch me on a personal level. And so I read the letter, and then I walked away from the box. Didn't open the box. I walked away from the box after reading the letter because I needed a moment, right? And then I came back, and I opened the box up, and I was like a kid on Christmas because I could kind of see what it was, and I kind of tore into it and all the bubble wrap and the tape, and I kind of opened it up, and this is what was inside. This is what was inside. This is a 1/6 scale dope Spider-Man. And I'm not going to open this up because I'm actually going to unbox this as part of another video. But this is a 1/6 scale Spider-Man. This is a Spider-Man web slinger, and this thing is dope. This is incredible. Just the picture. I don't even know what's inside because I literally have not opened the box yet because I wanted to open it up as part of another video. But this thing, I have secretly wanted a statue for my room for this space that sits right over here. And that space is kind of sort of vacant for a purpose because I have a stand right here and I wanted to put a statue on it. And the cheap side of me hasn't allowed me to actually open this thing up. But we are going to, or I should say, the cheap side of me hasn't allowed me to buy one. But we are going to open this thing up. We're going to put it on this stand, and we are going to feel that void back there. And so I want to say, and I think the person is here. Joe is like, very nice, dope to the max over here. James Cox, how you doing, brother? Florence says, awesome Spider-Man. Yes, indeed. Sully Two Kings is like, hotness. Yes, indeed. I'm scrolling up. I'm trying to see if they are still there. Yes, they are. My good friend, this was sent to me by a very good friend that I've had the pleasure of getting to know over the last year or so. My friend Tina hooked me up with this right here. This awesome Spider-Man 1/6 scale. Oh, no. We almost lost it there, people. We almost lost it. But this is what's inside. Really cool. And we are going to unbox this thing as part of a separate video. And hopefully release this maybe next week or something like that and show you guys exactly what this Spider-Man statue looks like. But this thing is really cool. Tina, I want to say thank you very much. I definitely appreciate not just the statue, but I appreciate the letter as well. It means a lot to me. So thank you for that. And I said, shipment. Brother, I don't know. When I started watching YouTube videos now at the start of 2018, Jim Mint was one of the first guys that I started to watch. And I'm like, I'm not really into the statue thing, but I was mesmerized by this guy's videos and the statues that he opened up. And I kind of said to myself secretly, I'm going to get a statue. Then I started looking at the prices and I was like, oh, well, maybe not. But now Tina has hooked it up. And now I don't have to buy my own statue because Tina has sent me one. So I want to say thank you very much for that. So definitely appreciate it. Stay tuned. We're going to do an unboxing video because I've never really done an unboxing video of a statue before. So it'll be kind of cool to open it up, see what's inside, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully I can do some Jim Mint kind of justice to this thing. But thank you very much, Tina. I absolutely appreciate it. So you guys, I'm telling you, just this week alone, we have a painting that came in from Mr. Comic. Randy Resnake hooked me up with this awesome drawing back here of a web of Spider-Man. I think it's 32. I think that's what I put in the video. And now Tina has sent the statue. And then John has sent me this wonderful plush toy. I mean, I've said it and I really do mean it. You guys are really awesome. And I appreciate every single one of you, not just the folks that send me stuff, but the people that just send me messages to say thank you. All of it means a lot, because if you think about it, you spend a lot of time thinking about videos, shooting videos, editing videos, posting videos, responding to comments, 5 to 7 videos a week. That's a lot of work. And it means a lot when someone just takes the time to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot. And so I really appreciate you guys. All right. Okay. Everybody's like, Tina rocks. Yes, she does. All right. So let's talk about some other stuff. What do you guys want to talk about? I want to be on here for a little bit and I want to have a conversation with you guys because I have not really been online all week, or at least I feel that way. So let's talk about some stuff. Throw it in all caps. Let's talk about it. Tina, thank you. Let's talk about it. Throw it in caps. That way I can actually see it. Eddie White saying, yeah, they're so expensive. Gibbon sold some of his and bought a 20. Yeah, I saw that. I actually watched that video. And it's really surprising how much the statues go for initially and then how much they go up in value and how you can turn around. And it was a really cool video that someone hit me to where they were talking about how Gibbon is basically, you know, using the hobby to like subsidize itself. And this dude was basically like, yeah, I sold off a bunch of stuff. I bought myself a new truck. First truck or first new car I owned. I was blown by that. But Jim, he did a really wonderful video about how he's like a customer service agent for like the telephone company or the power company or something like that. And he's basically found a way to make a lot of money using the hobby to basically do it. And it was really impressive. So shout out to Jim Mint for making some magic happen, man, for sure. Florence is like, nice run. I wish I could draw. Me too. Me too. Can't draw a lick. We always say in my family that my uncle sucked up all the talent. The dude can sew, he can make clothes, he can draw, he can paint, he can sing, he can play multiple instruments. He sucked up all the talent. The rest of the family's got nothing other than being able to run our mouths. That's basically the extent of it. My birthday is the 24th of June. It is already past. The 24th of June is when my birthday is, but thank you for asking, Matt. Scrolling down through the comments here, Joe is like early Christmas, no doubt. Thank you, Richard. Scrolling down, there you go. She knows. Tina definitely knows. All right. DD statue, that must be nice. I mean, there's so statuette. There's so many statues, and I think in one of the videos I actually showed you guys, like it was a sideshow booklet, and it was our book. Hardcover. When you flip through this thing, it's just incredible the number of statues that are out there and available to people. I had no clue that it was as extensive as it is. Like, it's one of those things that when you're not in it, you're not in it. And then when you are exposed to it, you realize just how deep it is. So I'm not completely surprised. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, again, if you guys have some comments or questions or whatever, you want to mix it up, throw it in caps so I can actually see it. Matthew's talking about Madam Web. I am so behind on the news. But I will tell you, I received a number of messages from people, and I apologize because I was super brief today because I was tied up in like all kinds of budget meetings and brand planning meetings and all this other stuff. But I received numerous messages from people about Spider-Man being back in the MCU and also about Madam Web. And I think, Gorilla Grodd actually sent me a message. He was like, what was it? ASM 210 with teary eyes. And I guess it's because the price has like skyrocketed. So Allison's also talking about this. So, I mean, here's the thing. And I actually, when the news was first announced a couple of weeks ago about them being like at an impasse between Marvel and Sony, I actually did a video. And as part of the video, I basically kind of said that it's not quite over, right? And I cited some evidence as the fact that what we were hearing was all basically hearsay, right? And I kind of speculated and put some stuff out there that it really wasn't over because of the amount of money that was involved. We talked a little bit about shareholders and how shareholders and investors would encourage Sony and Marvel to work it out. And so I also made some comments about the fact that because there hadn't been any public statements, and given the material nature of their impasse, right? In material, I mean by the fact that there is a lot of money that is involved that could affect shareholder value. My belief was that because at the time there were no public statements from leadership, that it was not over. And it was a couple of more days after that I think it was the CEO of Sony actually made some public statements where he was like, yeah, it's over. And so I kind of was like, okay, well, I was kind of sort of in the ballpark, but then those public statements came out and I was like, okay, well now it's over. And interestingly enough, and I have not read the article, so I apologize for that, but clearly now they have found a way to bridge the impasse that they thought that they had. And I don't know any of the details because I haven't read any of it, but clearly they have come to the realization that they need one another. And I think that they do, right? It wasn't Sony's fault. It wasn't Marvel's fault. Maybe one of them was being a little greedy. But I'm glad to see and hear that they've been able to work it out. And I think in the end, fans and shareholders will benefit from them figuring this out. And so I'm definitely pleased about that. With that said, we were actually with a comic collection agency going to do a contest that we might have to go back and rejigger. And it was a Spider-Man related contest that now might not make sense given the fact that a deal has now been put in place. And so maybe it was a good thing that I wasn't able to get that video recorded before I had to go out of town. And so I need to reach out to Comic Collection Agency and figure out how we're going to do this giveaway related to Spider-Man. There's a couple of cool comics and tchotchkes and things like here that we have set aside to be able to give to you guys that we're going to have to figure out how to do it now. So scrolling down through the comments here, a couple of people asking my thoughts. So hopefully that answers some of that stuff. Super Honorable Nephew is asking about the Gibbon t-shirts. I don't know yet. I've been traveling for a couple of days. I basically paid for the t-shirts on Monday morning while I was walking into work. It is Friday now. And so well, let me restate. I placed the order on Friday. I paid for them on Monday when she was back in her shop. Today is Friday. And so I haven't yet touch base with her to find out what's the status of the t-shirts. My hope is that I will hear something this weekend. If not this weekend, I will reach out to her on Monday asking for a status update so I can actually get those things sent out to you guys in a timely fashion. Rye, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. I was talking about you earlier today with no, I apologize. Not you. It was Ryan. Sorry about that. But it is good to see you, Rye. Tell the girlfriend I said hello. Scrolling down through the names, Kyler's talking about Spider-Man officially not leaving the MCU for sure. So Robert Santiago is asking here, do redeeming digital codes affect the comics value? So what we have learned, and I'm glad that I'm able to finally remember this thanks to John. So if you remove the digital code from a comic, you can still get a blue label. I do not believe that it affects the value of the comic, but they will make a notation on the label that the digital code is missing. And so I do believe that that is true. And if that is the case, some buyers could look at that label and say that the book is not complete, even though it has a blue label, and can decide that they might not want to purchase it. So it could affect value. I don't know. Right. And so I honestly have never removed a digital code. So nor have I sold one or bought one that did not have the digital code, but you can remove it. I do not believe that it affects the grade as far as CGC is concerned, but they will make a notation on the label that the digital code has been removed. So scrolling down through the comments here. Scrolling down again. If you guys have questions or comments or whatever, throw them up in caps so that I can actually see them. Makes it a little bit easier on me. Shazam statue from the 90s. Wow, only 350 made. Wow. Scrolling down through the comments here. Seeing a Harley Quinn statue that I wanted, didn't pull the trigger. How expensive was it? It's probably expensive. Harley Quinn's dope. Harley Quinn is dope. Yeah, I saw that. Wayne McDonald's talking about Nerdy Girl. She was holding up an Action Comics 3.5 and a Detective 27. It was on Instagram. Yeah, I definitely saw that. It's quite impressive, man. I mean, she's done a couple of live streams and she's had, stacks of books in front of her that are like $1 million. She's held up, games and things like that are over $10,000. I mean, she is a dealer in really high-end books and games. There is no doubt about it. But yeah, I still have her beat. Technically, I held, was it 2 million? Was it 2 million? Because one book was, it was almost, I think about 2 million. It's all about 2 million that I held in my hands. It was the highest graded and valued Wonder Woman first and second appearance in the worlds, if memory serves. So I still have her beat. Well, no, technically she owns hers, and I was just holding. Yeah, so she wins. She definitely wins. Brothers Grimm, how you doing? Brother, we are making it up. There is no topic. I showed a couple of AOKs that came in from some folks. And other than that, we are just shooting the breeze. So if you have questions, comments, thoughts, don't hesitate to let it fly. Throw it up in all caps to make it a little bit easier on me. So Matthew is on a roll here. This dude's over at Hijinks with my man Neil down there in San Jose. He picked up ASM 58 and he's going to get 210 tomorrow. Congrats on that in advance, my friend. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. See you later, Harvey. Comic books 62. It is good to see you, my friend. Scrolling down. I am way behind on the comments, so I'm going to accelerate here and kind of scroll through. Matt Forge, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Scrolling down. I heard that there is one more movie in the works. I'm not quite sure which movie you're referring to. I think I saw something that said that the Spider-Man Far From Home follow-up was actually going to be released in like 2021. So I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to or whether there's something else out there. But scrolling down, what is this? Brothers Kim says it's comic collection from IG. Happy to join the Gibbon gang recently via Facebook auction. Did I post that? Did I post that up today? I don't think I posted a Gibbon gang, but maybe the other day. Maybe that was you. I was on a roll there where I was doing like one a day for a while. So if you are now in the Gibbon gang, welcome to you, my friend. If you didn't tag me on Instagram, make sure that you do. That way I can give you a shout out, Brothers Grimm. And I'm going to need a matrix of all of you all's names, like your government name, your Facebook name, your Instagram name, your YouTube name, so I can track you guys because there is so many different names. Allison says one more MCU film with Spider-Man and also Spider-Man 3. There you go. She's on it. She's on it. Allison's definitely on top of it. No, so this guy did this painting for me. I can't think of his name. No. Mr. Comic 89, welcome to the live stream, my friend. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate it. If you guys are interested in getting a painting like this, Mr. Comic is in the house. He hooked it up, man. He definitely hooked it up. Shout out to you, brother, for making some magic happen. Scrolling down through the comments here. So Brothers Grimm is asking, on the topic, do you use any Facebook groups for buying and selling? If so, which ones? I don't use Facebook. Don't use Facebook. I occasionally log into Facebook to see if there's anybody that messaged me on the Regie Collects page on Facebook, and I log in to say, hey, if you want to talk to me, email me or find me on Instagram. I do that every couple of months. I'm not a Facebook guy, so I don't really use the Facebook groups. I don't use the instant messenger. I don't use any Facebook stuff. Instagram is like my preferred method for communication. Secondarily to that, email, but I really like Instagram because it allows me to send videos to people because people have questions for me, and sometimes it's easier for me to respond to the question in video format. So I record little snippets for people to respond back to them instead of typing, and that's just a really quick and easy way for me to get back to folks versus email, which requires me to sit down and I type it out, and then I have to reread it a couple of times to make sure there's no errors in it. With the video, I just turn it on, I rip it, and I send it. But no Facebook for me. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Glitter and duct tape. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Super honorable nephew is in the house. Aaron Finkelstein's like, sorry I'm late. We can start now. No, brother. We have been going for I don't know how long now, but we've been going pretty long and strong. But welcome to the live stream, my friend. It is good to see you. Florence Chestnut is in here. Scrolling down through the names here, seeing who else is here, seeing what questions, comments, and thoughts that you guys have. Bought some comics that came out today. A couple were in really bad shape. One had a page cut out, other had a detached cover and folded, kind of strange. Ouch. But you know, sometimes it's what you have to do, right? Chaos Lord, if you guys are reading Chaos Lord's comments when he comments on a video, many times they are very funny comments. So if you guys get a chance, read his comments. Dude's hilarious. He has a tremendous amount of experience. So Tina, That's how many comic shops I went to. So I flew to Denver, and I called myself flying in early, right? So that I could get there and maybe hit a comic shop. While I was in the air, I was inundated with all kinds of work. So I land, I go, I go and get in a cab to go to my hotel, only to realize that my hotel is at the airport. So I get out of the cab, I walk to the hotel, I go to my hotel room, and I spend the next several hours doing work. Then I go to a slide review and then a mandatory dinner. And mind you, I'm like in charge, right? So I go to a mandatory dinner for myself, and I then go to sleep, or I work out, I go to sleep, I wake up, I do an all day session, and then I have an option of flying out at 7 o'clock and getting home late and missing my kids, or flying out early and getting like 30 minutes with my kids before they go to bed. So I opted for leaving the hotel, going right back to the airport, which is like 5 feet away, flying home and getting a chance to see my kids. I hit 0 comic shops while I was in Denver. And there were many really good comic shops, including Mile High Comics was about 30 minutes away from me. And I really wanted to go there, and at least one other comic shop. There were probably 6 or so in the area, but there were like 2 that I wanted to go to. I went to 0, and I had a store folio. I had a store folio in my bag to go to a comic shop, and I went to none. So, yeah. So Steven from LA says, I love how you're emphasizing goal setting, because I am all about goals. He says, what are your next goal books? So I think all the videos are out. Well, I'll just preempt myself. I have one more ASM book that is en route to me right now, between 1 and 261 or 262. One book that is en route to me right now. I have one other book that I have to buy. Once I get that, I am basically done with my run between 1 and 262, basically done with that run. I want to focus on the other parts of the run between 262 all the way up to 801. I have many of them now, but I have lots of gaps that I'm working on filling. I would say that that is going to be a focus, but not like a heavy focus, right? Because I'll be picking those books up, blah, blah, blah. I'll be trying to complete it. There are some X-Men books that I want to get. There's like the first appearance of the Sentinels is one book that I really want to get. That's an X-Men book. There are some low number X-Men books that I really want. And so I think that that'll probably be what I'm aiming for. And then of course, AF-15, I have to figure out at which point I'm going to refocus my attention on AF-15. So that's probably the next really big goal book. The others are smaller and easierly. No, that is not a word. Many of those other books are easier for me to attain than AF-15. So I have to kind of prioritize a couple of things, but definitely some low number X-Men is another goal along with AF-15. So hopefully that answers the question. What is my favorite Spider-Man story arc to read? So I would say like the early appearance of Mysterio, 66, 67. I definitely dug that story arc. In a lot of the Silver Age books, there aren't these major story arcs, right? Like so many of the stories are like 1 issue, maybe 2 issues. So there's not a whole lot of big story arcs with Amazing Spider-Man from the Silver Age. So it's hard for me to say with that one, but the Mysterio 66, 67 was definitely one of my favorite story arcs. I definitely enjoyed that. The early appearances of like Hammerhead, I probably enjoyed those because I think that was kind of stretched over a couple of issues with like the Spider-Mobile. Kind of remember that one. I kind of enjoyed that. It was fun, right? So I would say that that's probably it from like the Silver Age stuff. So hopefully that answers the question. Scrolling through, seeing what else. I am way behind on comments. Goodness gracious. Let me scroll down to the bottom and then I'll work my way up from there. Comics with Bueller's in the house. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Wow. He says that I just bought X-Men 12. Wow. Congratulations on that, brother. Yeah, a couple of people want that X-Men 12. It's a dope book. It definitely is a dope book. Scrolling up through the comments here. Yes, Matthew. Well done, sir. Matthew watches the videos. There's no doubt about that because he knows exactly. Yeah, that is what's en route right now. Scrolling through the comments. Scrolling. Bueller, it is good to see you, brother. Mr. Comic says, if you come back to Denver, Mile High and Hall of Justice are two that you must hit. That was where one of them that I wanted to go to was Mile High. Hall of Justice, I don't remember seeing that one. But there were so many within, that 35 to 45 minute proximity to the airport. So there was a couple there. And I think it was Mr. Comic. I actually took a photo on Instagram out of my window from the hotel. And I was like, nothing to see here, because it was basically like flat, completely out there. And I think it was Mr. Comic that sent me a message, and he was like, that looks like Denver Airport. And I'm like, yes, sir. Indeed, it is Denver Airport, because that's where I am. The challenge for me is that I go these places and I never actually leave the hotel. I literally go from the airport to my hotel, from my hotel to the airport. That is typically the extent of it, because I try to get there as late as I can, and then leave as soon as I can to get back with my family. So hopefully at some point I will actually be back in the Denver area at some point. So let me scroll up. Here we go. Greek Freak says, got a promotion. Congrats on that. That lets him travel for work now. He says, you bet I'm hunting comic books in every city that I'm in. It's fun, man. I mean, I think it's one of those things that if you have the ability to travel, and if you have the ability to run a quick Google search, you will probably find a comic shop that is not too far away, right? And so it's like, if you're there, it's a free trip. You might as well check out a comic shop, so hopefully you find some good stuff out there while you're hunting, brother. So scrolling through the comments here, Johnny says, what's good, Reggie? CGC question, can you mix tiers in submission? For example, send 2 moderns and 2 value in the same submission? No. Basically what you want to do, and I kind of sort of hinted at this in the shipping video that I released a couple of days ago. What I will do is I will put each tier on a separate invoice, and I will put each invoice by and large in a separate box, right? And then I will put those I should probably say Gemini shippers. I will put multiple Gemini shippers with individual invoices in one box, one shipment to CGC. So for example, if I have 5 moderns, I'll put 5 moderns in a Gemini shipper, and I will put on that shipper, I will attach to it with tape an invoice for those 5 modern books. I will have another Gemini shipper with 5 Silver Age or 5 value books. I will put those in there, and I will tape to that Gemini shipper an invoice for those 5 value books. And then I will take those 2 Gemini shippers, I will put them together in a box and send one shipment off to CGC. Basically what CGC does is that all of these books route through the grading process at different speeds, right? Because they're processed at different times. And so they should be on separate invoices. And unfortunately, that's going to result in 2 separate shipments coming back to you, because they cannot tie the 2 shipments together, because they're going through the process de-identified at 2 different speeds. So, you can send multiple invoices, multiple packages in one box, but they will all come back separately at different times. And so you kind of have to balance that. Typically what I try to do is I try to send as many books as I possibly can at a time to reduce my per book shipping costs outbound, and also to reduce my per book shipping costs as they come back to me from CGC. So Johnny, hopefully that answers the question. If not, feel free to ask another, send me a message. We can chop it up and talk a little bit more about it. So scrolling through, I'm actually scrolling up through the comments because I missed so many. Super Honorable Nephews asking about Power Pack in the MCU. Brother, I have no clue about Power Pack. I would just keep it honest. I have no clue about Power Pack. I've never read a Power Pack comic. The closest I've come to reading one is that one with Wolverine and Power Pack on the cover of an Uncanny X-Men book. And I still haven't read that issue. That is as close as I've come. I honestly have no comments on Power Pack, but maybe I'll read a Power Pack. That way, next time someone asks, I can actually answer it, because I haven't. So scrolling. Chaos Lord is like, I log into Facebook just to see what my sister's up to. I respect it, brother. I respect it. All right. So we're going to scroll back. Oh, what is this? Hey, Reggie, I'm late to the show. Do you already have at least one copy of ASM 210? Yes. Yes, I have basically every comic outside of one, between Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 261. And in some cases, I actually have multiples. And I want to say I have two copies of ASM 210. I want to say I have two, but I honestly haven't even had a chance to check my bin to see what's back there, but I definitely will. So scrolling through. I have not had a chance to read this. William is asking whether I've had a chance to read the Spider-Man Velocity series. I have not. I actually have those books, which I think you know, but I have not actually read those. Kimball's asking whether you can press an embossed cover. I don't know. I've never actually done it, because here's the thing. Embossed covers tend to be heavier stock. They tend to not necessarily be just regular paper, but heavier card stock. Heavier card stock tends to not wrinkle as much as regular paper. So I've never actually pressed an embossed book. In my head, I think that you could, but you'd have to be very careful about how much pressure you apply so as to not flatten out the embossment, or to press the embossment into the book and basically, introduce a defect into the pages of the comic below the embossment, or to flatten it, of course, depending upon how it goes. But I've never pressed one. So I really can't answer it. I would say yes, but carefully. That's probably the best answer that I could give. Yes, but carefully. All right. So I'm gonna scroll back down here, see what else you guys are talking about. Her power pack number 1 sucks, but it's valuable. Oh my goodness, you are funny. Scrolling back up to the comics, Johnny says, beautifully explained. Well, thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. I try, because you never know how it sounds, because I'm not listening to it. I'm just, so glad it helps. Certainly, like I said, if you have any questions, just hit me up. Also, Reggie, wanted to thank you for getting me into comics. William says, also, Reggie, I wanted to thank you for getting me into comics. I was on the fence, but then I found your channel and completely sold me. Well, you are welcome for allowing me to spend some of your money, my friend. Spend a little bit of your money, spend a little bit less of my money. No, the thing is that this channel, man, is really set up, I think, for like new collectors, people that are newly returning to comics, and then even for seasoned collectors. I try to offer some things up for people to consider thinking. I try to think a little bit differently and try to get people to think a little bit differently, to at least pause and think. And I think that approach, works for a lot of people. One thing is, I'm not an expert. I'm a guy that likes to read comics and has a camera and some studio lights, right? I really just enjoy this hobby, and that's the extent of my thing. Is I want to have a good time. I want to enjoy this hobby, and I want to mix it up with other people that enjoy this hobby. And so if that resonates with you, and I think, William, it does resonate with you, then I think that is great, because hobby should be fun, and I'm trying to have some fun. And I think, I get a lot of messages from people that kind of talk about, my enthusiasm, the excitement that I have for comics. And it's true. I genuinely enjoy this, right? And I think that if you have a hobby, you should enjoy your hobby. And in my opinion, I don't want to watch anyone talking about my hobby that is all doom and gloom. I want to have some fun. And so when I turn on the camera and I get on this microphone, I want you guys to feel that enthusiasm. I want you to have some fun. If you've had a bad day, I want to try to change it a little bit. Maybe make it a little bit brighter. You know what I'm saying? And along the way, maybe share some knowledge, get you to think a little bit differently, get you to quonsider things from a different vantage point. If I can do that, that's a win. There you go. All right. Dark Queen Duck is back. He says, I'm sorry, I'm late, Gibbon gang. What did I miss? Brother, we're just in here running our mouths mostly. That is mostly what we're doing right here. John says he is going after ASM 194, trying to add it to his collection, trying to find the right grade at the right price. I heard that, brother. I heard that. Good luck. I am certain that you will actually find it. If you look, and if you are patient, I promise that you will actually find it, because it is definitely out there. Sometimes patience works out. I mean, you saw that earlier today with the video that I released. Many of those books that I actually showed in that video, I have literally had in my hands time and time again, and just could not pull the trigger. And I finally was able to find the book in the right condition at a fair price, and magic was made. And sometimes you just have to be patient, which is really hard, because you want it and you want it now, but sometimes waiting just a little bit actually works out quite nicely. So Mr. Comment says Hall of Justice is where I got my ASM 5 and also Submariner #1. Very nice. That's what's up, man. Definitely going to try to hit it next time I'm there. The thing is, whenever I travel, I try to hit a shop, but it is not always easy. Last 2 trips I've taken have hit 0 comic shops, and I've taken, I didn't take my store folio with me last time, but I did this time, and in neither case was able to go, so we'll see. I have a couple of more trips planned in October, November, and one in December. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I can actually make some magic happen. So, all right. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get myself out of here. Like I said, I've been traveling for a while, so it'll be nice to spend a little bit of time kind of hanging out with the wife. Maybe what I will do is I may actually jump on here tomorrow morning and go live just for a little bit early in the morning, maybe 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, jump on here, chat with you guys for a little bit. Maybe I'll announce something because I'm a little behind on like announcements and giveaways and that kind of stuff because I've been out of town. So I may do a couple of things tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't watched the videos this week, I definitely want to encourage you guys to go back and actually check out the videos because there's a lot of good content that I released earlier this week. A couple of videos where I talk about undervalued books, which are minor books that could have some significance if a certain character is introduced to the MCU. I show you guys how to ship books off, raw books, how to mail them properly. At least I think a couple of methods for how to mail books. So if you haven't seen that book, that video, you definitely want to check it out. And then in one of those videos, I also give you details on how you guys can actually win this little gem right here. This is Captain America Annual #8. This is a double signed book by Mike Zeck. And definitely a really, really cool book. You can actually add this book to your own collection if you actually find the video in which I'm actually talking about this. And so if you guys haven't watched the videos, you haven't seen this, you haven't entered the contest, you definitely want to take some time to check out the content so that you can potentially add that book to your collection. So again, huge shout out to Randy Resnake, Mr. Comic 89. Huge shout out to my man John for the Gibbon, and a fantastic shout out to Tina for this awesome Spider-Man statue that is down here that you guys will see me unbox in another video, possibly next week. As always, I want to thank you guys for spending just a little bit of time with me this Friday night. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so. Regie Collects on Instagram and regiecollects@gmail.com because I am not too hard to find. Take care.